everyone and welcome back to my channel. So a bit of a different video for you today. Basically I made some of the best cookies ever the other night and I thought that I would just make them again today and film it for you because they honestly were the best. And I know that a lot of people are kind of like baking or trying to do things to kind of fill their time during this kind of lockdown isolation period. So yeah, I will say, may as well just go straight in and start it now. These do need to go in the freezer for about an hour and a half before you actually bake them. So the reason that I'm not saying like preheat your oven to blah 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 is because you don't need to do that when you're actually like making them, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Okay, so I've just got all the ingredients out. When I made them last time, I did use 3 eggs because we only had medium eggs and the recipe calls for large. And these are large eggs, but that could change. I might need to add one more. Also, the nearest shop to me only had this chocolate, and last time I did use just Cadbury's dairy milk, which I would recommend, but they literally had no chocolate. They only had this, but this is actually quite tasty considering it's only 50p. But yeah, any chocolate that you like, it can be white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, Galaxy, Milka, what else is there? Obviously dairy milk, just anything you fancy you can chuck in there. You should also use a proper butter, but don't have any. And then if I just hold this here for you a sec, this is the measurements of everything you need, so you can just kind of pause and write it down. I will list it in the description bar as well. I should note that I am following Cupcake Gemma's recipe. This is not my recipe. I'm not taking credit. Sorry, I've got hair on my face. Not taking credit for it. So you can go over to her channel to see it. Oh, I should also mention that these are kind of like the big fat like New York style cookies that are kind of really soft and gooey in the middle. They're the best in my opinion. This is all the recipe, this is all the ingredients that you will need, and let's just get started. Okay, so you want 1 cup of cold butter. Like I said, this should be real butter, but you can just work with what you've got during this time of lockdown, isolation. Okay, so when you've got your cup of butter, I realise that's not, you know, very profesh, but you can just throw it in your mixing bowl. The recipe does ask you to kind of cream the butter a little bit, or to just soften it, but considering we're literally using like margarine, then there's no need to do that. Okay, so next we're adding both of the sugars into the mix. This is just simple caster sugar. And then...
I knocked something off.
Sorry, my cameraman is a bit of an amateur, so... Okay, so we need 3/4 of a cup. And then 1 tablespoon. I didn't plan that, but that was perfect. And brown sugar, we need 1/2 cup, and then just under 1/4 cup. So I had to convert this recipe from grams to cups because I don't have a weighing scales that will do grams, and my only other weighing scales was actually my grandmother's, and that measures in like ounces and stuff, but it's not the most accurate, and also I don't think that people have that. nowadays it's like super old.
If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems.
And then what you need to do is just give this just a gentle kind of mix together. You would probably want to use like a hand mixer, but ours broke, so however it is, then you can just mix.
Do anything to make it fine, but I can tell that you have something on your mind right now. But I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax all your problems.
Okay, so essentially you just want it to look like this, which I know doesn't look very nice, but that's what it needs to look like. Next, you want to chop your chocolate. You can kind of make the chunks as big or as small as you want. Last time I kind of made them quite big, just because then you get those like really nice like ooey gooey chunks of chocolate in the cookie. But yeah, so kind of like that big. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Kind of like this big.
You forget all your sorrows, let go like this.
Okay, so as you can see, it's quite a lot of chocolate. These are very chocolatey cookies. So then you want to add the chocolate into the butter and sugar mixture. And again, we're not mixing to kind of like, what am I saying, combine it, but you just want to kind of, you know, make sure that it's just kind of come together a little bit.
Good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away.
So next we're going to add all the dry ingredients. So we've got some self-raising flour. This is usually where I make a huge mess. Okay. I'm actually just going to use the half cup because that's cleaner. More cleaner.
Vibes, all about the good vibes.
And then plain flour, you want 2 cups.
I pull into your driveway, it's a Saturday night. You look like $1,000,000 where
Under a 1/4 cup, so kind of about that much. Just under. Okay, and then you just want to kind of combine this as best as you can for now. This mixture does end up being super dry before you add the eggs, so just bear that in mind. You're not doing anything wrong, it just takes a while to come together.
all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. We are all about the good vibes. We are all about the good times. Dance until it feels alright. All night, we're all about the good.
Okay, then we're going to add our bicarbonate of soda and our baking powder.
When you were leaving, I need you even more than I did.
And then you need to add some salt.
Oh, you drive me crazy, I want you to stay here. Now I'm here alone.
And you just want to add your eggs. So you've got 2 large eggs. Like I said last time, I had to add 3 eggs. But we were using medium eggs instead of large. These are large, so it should be enough. You can also mix your eggs before you add them, but obviously it doesn't really make that much difference.
Just to put me out again. Still I need you. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. I'm weak.
Okay, so as you can see, we now have dough. It's obviously come together really well, but it is still a little bit crumbly, which is fine. So now what we need to do is form these into 12 massive balls of cookie dough, and then pop them in the freezer for an hour and a half. And as long as they're frozen, it's fine.
Yeah, I need it. You light my fire just to put me out again. Still I need you. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you.
These are the cookie dough ball things. As you can see, they are actually drying and they don't spread that much, so they pretty much stay inside. And then these just need to go in the freezer for a while.
I'm weak for you. Yeah, you.
The cookies have been in the freezer for an hour and a half. Well, just under, because I got really, what's the word?
Bold. Impatient.
Impatient. Impatient. So the oven is now set to 180 degrees, and what I would recommend is, because they don't go in the oven for that long, is to heat the baking trays in the oven as the oven's preheating. I would say preheat your oven for at least like 10 minutes before you bake them, and then you just plop them on the baking sheet. These are the cookies, frozen, solid. Plate's really, really cold. Last time we could only fit like 10 at a time. So come on over, cameraman. Okay, so all you want to do is just plop them on. You want them kind of spread out from each other, just because they do spread a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, I need it. You light my fire just to put me out again. Still I need you. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you.
Okay, so you just want to bake them in the oven for 17, I've got hair on my face, sorry. For about 17 minutes. Last time I cooked them for 20, so just keep an eye on them. Just want them to look golden brown on top, but be really, really, really squidgy in the middle. Okay, so they've been in for 17 minutes. Whoa! Oh, they are perfectly done. See how they're like golden brown? More the way, baby. Okay, and then these ones on the bottom, I'm just gonna put them up to the top, turn them around a little bit, and just give them an extra couple of minutes. Just set the timer for 3 minutes. So as you can see, when they focus, you've got these really lovely like golden brown edges. That's what you want to see. You want to leave them to cool for about 5 minutes. Just because obviously they're going to be really, really hot, but you still want to have them when they're warm. So leave them to cool for about 5 minutes, and then I will come back and show you how like gooey they are on the inside. And then I've got my little taste tester right here. So yeah, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay, so these have been out for about 5 minutes. I just want to show you how gooey they are. Oh my gosh, look how incredible they are. So as you can see, they're still like super, super gooey. They're actually just falling apart. Ready to taste?
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be a bit hot. I'll give you that. Oh, it's falling apart.
That is usual with cookies.
Okay, it's still really super hot, okay? Careful, it's gonna fall, so just make sure you've got it. Ready?
Yeah. Nice. Really nice. Really nice.
Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Oh my god. Mmm. They're so nice. Okay, so thank you everyone so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you do end up baking these cookies, then you can tag me in your pictures on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram right here on the screen. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. My next video I think is going to be a boohoo haul, so make sure you subscribe so that you are able to see that when I upload it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye everyone.